Good evening, everybody. My name is Seven Sky Spelios of Seven Sky Music. Today, we're going to be reviewing some music. This is, I believe, episode 9, and I have to say, it's been a real thrill to review everyone's music up until this point. I've always wanted to give my thoughts and critique on other people's tunes, and I'm really happy that I've gotten the chance to work with so many great creators, and I hope that all these connections that I make now can lead to other collaborations and cool events and things down the road. So if you've been a part of the music review series, I want to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart. You're awesome. Anyway, this episode we're going to be taking a look at Stereo Creep's Thoughts and Prayers. I believe this is a Seattle-based band. Yes, I can see it right there on their site. This is a Seattle-based band. I'm on their Bandcamp right now, which I'll link in the description of the video, and it says this is the last track on side 1 of the upcoming album Suck. This song is quite timely, so we thought it was only right to release it now. Please enjoy and always know that our thoughts and prayers are with you. Thoughts and Prayers. That's the name of the song. So, as usual, this is going to be a blind listen, so I have not heard any of this. I've not heard anything of this band before, and based on their cover art, which I'll display now, I'm predicting on the edgier side of music. I'm not going into this expecting a full orchestra and choir doing a rendition of Beethoven's Fifth. I'm definitely expecting something a little heavier, so we'll see what we got. Whoa, hold on here. I think the way that the song just kind of comes out and jumps at you really gets the mood hyped. You know what I mean? I went into this like, hey, I'm going to critique this music, and now I'm already like, hell yeah, let's start a revolt. Let's start a riot. So, obviously, great work on the music so far. I have to say, I love that this Bandcamp page has the lyrics. Sounds like a really simple, minuscule thing, but it's really important to me. I always have trouble hearing lyrics, and they're right here. It's great. It's like a dream come true for me. I think everyone should always include their lyrics into the thing, even if it's just like 2 sentences, even if people can easily hear the words. Just do us all a favor. Make sure you have your lyrics in the description or in somewhere around your song so that people like me can actually know what the heck you're talking about. So thank you, Stereo Creeps, for this. Let's continue.
Hypocrites worship the almighty dollar, to lead them around on a leash and a collar. They never learn and they can't understand. To stop the man, we're gonna need a plan.
Nice. I didn't know that the song was going to be revolutionary, and it definitely is. There's definitely a message here, obviously, about hypocrites worshiping the almighty dollar, and the kind of manipulation, you could argue, of the kind of manipulation of a government and a society and the people of that society. I love the singer's voice. They're just yelling, but it's more than yelling. They're really amping up the energy, and that's really awesome. I think right now, since it's the beginning of the song, the instruments in the back are doing their job just great, filling in the space, letting the singer take over, filling in the space. It's a great little call and response in a way.
I don't want to argue, I don't need the friction. Are you a bully or are you the victim? Load! Aim! Fire! All my thoughts and prayers are with you. Load! Aim! Fire! All my thoughts and prayers are with
you. That chorus definitely gets to me on an emotional level. In one aspect, I feel I feel like I want to take up arms, and I feel like there's a cause that has appeared in front of me that I feel like I need to go out and fight for and become a martyr for. And on the other hand, I kind of feel like it's just me as being a listener. A listener, mind you, who doesn't listen to that much heavy rock or metal, whatever you want to classify this as. This course definitely puts me on edge as that kind of listener, and I think that's part of the point. My heart kind of drops a little bit when I hear about shots going off. In a way that's really good, because it brings to mind all these terrible events in American history. I mean, really the history of everywhere. Think about, terrible shootings and things like that, and really I think it's all a matter of perspective. Somebody might listen to this and go, oh no, guns in a song, oh how terrible. I think you can also take the opposite approach and say, hey, this blatant message of guns and shooting and this violence can be a good thing to bring to light the past that we don't want to repeat. And of course, this is just me. Somebody else might have a totally different view, but to me, I really like this chorus. To summarize, really puts me on edge, really makes me want to take up arms, and I think that's the point of this song. So, let's continue.
Think harder. It gets harder every day. Try a little harder. Get down on your knees and pray. Load. Aim. Fire. All my thoughts and prayers are with you. Load. Aim. Fire. All my thoughts and prayers are with you. You can't take your money with you. Remember what I said.
At this point, I'm starting to wonder what the standpoint on the band and the music is. Are they advocating to retaliate violently and forcefully against the oppressors and the sheep, or is there more of a figurative approach? I'm also wondering if the religious side of this song, talking about the worshiping the almighty dollar, getting on the knees and praying, all these things, I'm wondering if they are legitimately religious, or if they are kind of teasing religion in the country, or teasing this juxtaposition between violence and religion. Regardless of the stance, I think the song is doing a great job of amping up the energy. And I could easily see this on stage next to all these other political bands. If Stereo Creeps, if they normally make political music, or if this is new for them, this seems like the type of group that would always have some kind of meaning and deeper message to their songs, or at least something to take away from it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is in a long line of many politically active songs. Maybe not necessarily politically active, but, just to make you think about what's going on in the world. I guess that's politics. And I want to comment on the previous lyrics that have passed by. I really enjoy that. I don't want to argue, I don't need the friction. Are you a bully or are you the victim? I think that single line makes people want to take up arms. Even more on the lyrics, I'm wondering if the all my thoughts and prayers are with you, I'm wondering if that's in a kind of a, not sure if it's the right word, but snide, sarcastic way, or if it's a legitimate all my thoughts and prayers are with you, please change for the better. Like I said, I think if I had more backstory on the band, and I think if I had gone to a concert of theirs recently, maybe I would know first off, but as it stands now, I'm interested. And that kind of vagueness, I think, is really good for the audience. Some people can take out of it the relatable hate and the relatable emotions and negativity, maybe even hopefulness that comes out of wanting things to change. And then some people can think of it as on the more figurative, thought-provoking side of like, okay, what can we do? backing up a little bit, I am really enjoying this song so far. We're about halfway in. I'm hopeful that there's a B section that kind of shows off the music a little more. Not that it's completely necessary or anything like that, but I think it would be... You know what I'm really hoping for? A guitar solo. I just want a guitar solo. I just want something crazy and screechy and just all over the place. That's what I want. That's what I need. I feel like I'm being taken to this new realm of... I keep saying it, but wanting to take up arms. And so if I get that guitar solo, I'm gonna go right now and do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna do something. If I hear that guitar solo, okay? Let's hear if it happens. Okay, that is cool. That is really cool. It kind of sounded like it was going to go major for a second, and then it quickly turned to like this crazy, weird Locrian thing. I think there's a flat 2 in there anyway. Anyway, it just felt like this glimpse of hope, and then it turns into this creature that starts writhing in pain, and its own mud and blood stinging its own wounds. I want to hear this transition again, because I think it's really awesome. Yeah, this section is really cool. I mean, up until this point, the music and the words, the music and the melody, everything has been pretty straightforward. It's been interesting because it's been very dark, obviously some kind of Phrygian mode, likely. I think that's what I meant to say earlier, Phrygian, not Locrian necessarily. But this is a great example of contrast. Basically, think about the melody. Think about the singer. Up until this point, the singer's been yelling a lot, not really having, it's a melody, but not much pitch content. But then we get to here, and now the singer's voice really starts coming through. We have this leap to what I said. We have the movement is just really nice. It's very refreshing for the piece. It feels really good. And the music, the way that it's just kind of, that it's wandering, but it's hitting all these really cool tones and chords. It's so satisfying. Congratulations. This is one of the coolest transitions I think that I've heard in this whole music review series. Not to put down any of the other transitions that have come before this, but this is one of the best. Let's continue. That was cool, because we know that it's the end of this section. We know that we think that we're probably going to go back to the beginning material, something like that. And it's a great artistic choice that the singer decided to be singing, and then morph this from singing into yelling, into screaming. That kind of brings it almost full circle in a way. We start with yelling intensity, then we transfer to this kind of more beautiful melodic idea, and then at the peak of that we transition back to this darkness, and that's super cool, and it makes a lot of sense artistically. I'm hoping I get my guitar solo now, so let's see if we do. This band kind of reminds me of course, like I said, I'm not very well versed in this genre, but it kind of reminds me of, I think I'm Chop Suey, so I guess that's System of a Down, in the way that there's the juxtaposition between religion and violence. And I'm thinking that this group and or the music is in favor of religion, because musically, when we enter the section about prayer, we get this just nice, stagnant major chord with a little bit of Lydian thrown in as well. And that tells me as a listener that prayer is this beautiful, wonderful thing. I don't like treading on topics that could upset people or whatnot. But within the confines and the structure of the music has been so dark up until this point that when we talk about praying and the music lightens up, that gives us, the listener, the idea that the act of praying, the act of prayer is, the prayer and the music, they are one. They are reflective of each other, is what the music is saying, is what the band is conveying. So that's why I'm thinking that the message of this piece, Thoughts and Prayers, is that we need thoughts and prayers to get through. We need thoughts and prayers to get to the other side. And that's been, I feel like it's been properly conveyed now. And it kind of makes sense in a way, because in the beginning, we have hypocrites worshiping the almighty dollar. So we have prayer, but being used in a dark, cynical, dry side. So we have dark music surrounding that. Now we have just pure prayer, praying for the things that we need, praying for goodness in the world. And so, what does the music do? The music brightens up. Music lightens up. Makes a lot of sense. So, we have about 40 seconds left. Let's see where it goes. That ending kind of freaked me out a little bit. I saw that there were still about 20 seconds left when the thing started fading out, and I was wondering, okay, what's going on? What's happening? And then when it faded out, there was kind of a moment of ease, but also kind of a little bit of tension. And I was thinking for a second, is this a mistake? Did they accidentally add in 15 extra seconds between this track and the last? Or this track and the next? But then I hear that guitar come in right here real strong, and I'm thinking, oh no. I don't know if anyone else got that impression, but to me, it felt like a great place to have this really, if the music in the band wanted to do this, to have this really dark, creepy, kind of the opposite of hope, this kind of foreboding presence introduce itself, because we end on a happy note for the most part. So for this happiness to go die down, and then just for a few seconds rise back up again, this terrifying darkness that is, this little tail on the end of this beast. I just think it would be really effective, because it was already effective, and it wasn't even, I don't think it was trying to do that. I don't think it was trying to freak me out. But that's just kind of how it happened. So imagine if you were actually going for that. Anyway, that's just kind of a random comment. My only kind of complaint, I guess, as a listener, would be that when we get to the prayer section and we're hanging on to that major chord, whatever it is, it kind of feels a little too classic. And it gets more interesting a little later, but for it to stagnate on such a basic chord kind of feels like it's not enough. I don't think that a basic major chord is the embodiment of beauty and prayer. I think, but let's listen to that chord one more time. So at that point, you add in the sharp 4, the Lydian, and it becomes interesting to me. But it's kind of sat around for a while, just kind of being this stagnant major chord, which is fine, and a lot of listeners probably won't care one way or another. But just to me, it would have been cool, I think, if that was introduced sooner. You know, maybe you have the major chord, then you add the major 7, and then you add that sharp 4 that you added, maybe a little sooner. And then you add the flat 9, so you're stacking perfect fifths, basically, over the course of however long you want to do it. And it will create this sense of brightness that I think is what you're going for. That being said, as it stands now, I think it still works really well. I think it does embody the act of praying and hoping and asking and seeing this light. And yeah, overall, really fun piece. I think it'd be really cool to hear live. And I'm somewhat disappointed that there's not a guitar solo, but there's so many damn guitar solos that I guess it only makes sense that there's not a guitar solo in this, because there's always a guitar solo. Is that a good reason for there not to be a guitar solo? I don't know. It's up to you. Do you like guitar solos? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, I want to thank Stereo Creeps for letting me review this music. I hope they were satisfied with something, maybe some exposure of about 2 viewers. And I hope to see them live in concert sometime. This has been Thoughts and Prayers by Stereo Creeps. You are watching Seven Sky Spelios on the Sevenadventure YouTube channel, most likely. I hope you're all having a fantastic evening. I hope that evening continues by you checking out the link in the description below to Stereo Creeps' Bandcamp page. And yeah, have a good night, everybody.